fray once more.
What? Oh, it's you. Come closer then. Closer, huh? My ears aren't what they used to be. Nor my eyes, for that matter. Yes, hello, Source Hunter. Our city welcomes you. My elf? What elf? Oh, myself. I am Cecil, Mayor of Sicil, and husband of the stately Cecilia. I've been the mayor here for decades, and I'm quite eager to see Sicil through these difficult times. Yes, very difficult times indeed. What? Oh, you mean Sicil? Very difficult times indeed. As though the death of Jake, and by source magic no less, weren't enough. We're also facing all sorts of brutish intruders. The undead have overrun all but one northern trade route, while the orcs are making a habit of savaging our beaches. That's not to mention that at the top of this whole caboodle, there's rumors of some new religious sect or cult or some such, sticking its tendrils into the innocent, seven-fearing folks of Sicil. And, while we're on the subject of troubles, I myself have a private matter I'd like to bring to your attention. It involves a magic relic I rather foolishly sought. A weapon called the Staff of Pergamon. What of what now? Oh, you're speaking gibberish. Ah, you mean the Staff of Pergamon. Yes, yes. I was expecting a shipment of weapons, and among the cargo was this very powerful, very rare staff. I managed to place the order through means somewhat, atypical to a government official. Cecil proved an old fool, though, for the merchant slated to deliver it to me has just informed me that the damn thing has gone missing. I fear it may have fallen into the wrong hands, and I wonder if you could retrieve it for me. His name is Conrad, captain of the Tide Splitter, a merchant ship still docked at the Sicil harbor. You can talk to him if you think it'd help, but I'd quite like to avoid getting the Legion involved, if you don't mind. The staff itself contains a shard of an ore, highly valued for its use in the weapons of war. I know use of the material to be forbidden, but I was desperate to do something to aid the townsfolk against the undead. Jake, murdered? Oh yes, yes, now I recall. Indeed, I could hardly believe it myself. The Council and I have certainly had our differences over the years, but old squabbles evaporate under such circumstances. Most of the townsfolk are certain Jake's wife Esmeralda is responsible. In fact, the Legion have taken her into protective custody to keep her safe from the mob. As you can imagine, I've known Esmeralda for years. That business between her and the Duke of Ferrol was always a bit, suggestive. But I've never had cause to suspect her of violence. Still, one never knows for sure. An all-right bloke, apart from all this Esmeralda nonsense. The whole town knows the only goal of his business trips to Sicil is to spend a night or two at the King Crab Inn with Mrs. Counselor. What? The undead? Yes, for the past 2 years those blasted skeletons have all but suffocated this city. With all but one trade route overrun, Sicil's once torrential commerce has slowed to a pathetic trickle. Well, I do believe that's something your parents ought to have discussed with you long ago, Source Hunter. But I suppose if you really don't know, I'd be remiss if I didn't at least explain the basics. Ah, you see, when a lady and a fellow find each other rather nice, well, rather more than nice, they occasionally, well, Oh, this is nonsense. I'm the mayor for the 7th sake. I can't be bothered to chat all day about the birds and the bees when Sicil's under siege by orcs, undead, and cultists. That depends. What kind of berries are you interested in, exactly? Ah, the library. Yes, yes, you must have a visit. It's the gem of Sicil. Would you like to have a look? I'll escort you upstairs myself. Marvelous! Follow me then.
I knew that dark-dealing old man dabbled in source. To the gallows, I say.
Wolgraff throws Medora a stern look. He's not the type to take pleasure in seeing an old man swing. Wolgraff gives you a knowing look.
My Victoria has every volume you could possibly imagine, and she's got every speck of information about this place packed into her brilliant brain. Yes, Victoria's come a long way from that little bundle of claws and teeth I adopted so long ago. Ah, it brings a tear to my eye just seeing her here among her beloved books. What? Oh, yes, yes. I'll be on my way back downstairs now. Please introduce yourself. I know Victoria will be happy to make your acquaintance.
In the name of Amun-Hor, I bid thee Tujda Geta Hal, be welcome, human. My library is yours, as I hope your friendship is mine.
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. Is there no new
I am
book?
Victoria, daughter of Mayor Cecil. Oh, I know what you're thinking. The likeness isn't exactly striking, is it? When I was very young, you see, I must have been cast out by my tribe, for I was found in a wicker basket floating past Sicil toward the sea. The fisherman who found me would have drowned me on the spot, for I am an orc after all. But praise be Amun-Hor, dear Cecil was among the gathered crowd, and he took pity on the exiled infant that chance had put in his way. He raised me like I was his own. This kindest of souls taught me the language of men, their customs and their letters. Thus, I became the city's librarian, a position I uphold with no small diligence and pride. Kiralizor! Oh, do pardon my language, my friend, but that is quite the startling revelation. So much sadness, so much anguish. Eglandir's tale is heartrending, though it seems that in the pursuit of retribution, he has himself become as great a ghoul as those that wronged him. Does he not see that I am now the one who is to be wronged? Why, oh why must he make me, of all gentle-minded and life-loving creatures, why must he make me the target of his imperishable hate? Whom have I ever harmed? I live for books, not brutality. So, let us approach the situation with reason and ask ourselves, where do we go from here? Though, first let me say this. Ashizm bil kushum zunum. From my heart, I thank you for warning me. I thank you and I trust you. So pray, let me pose the question. What do you advise we should do? My amulet? But it is Haxmaji, a sacred token that houses the presence of my ancestors. No, I cannot part with my talisman, the keepsake of my soul.
Daemonum, and a first edition too. Most promising. No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for. Is there no new book to be discovered in this library? The Lesser Key of Sadakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. The Pseudo-Monarchia Daemonum. And a first edition too.
Put it like that, I guess. I cannot say that it is. I do this very reluctantly, but fine. Have my talisman. May it fool the elf that would see me dead.
Ugh, I need something more advanced.
Tujageta, friend.
Library?
Indeed you may. The wisdom I here hoard is yours to peruse and even take with you. All I can ask is that you return the books you borrow so that others may enjoy them too.
Demonology for Daemonum.
The
And a first edition
armor.
too. Most
Princess
promising.
Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Stentekel. Esmeralda does have a propensity for all things naughty, hasn't she?
Demonology for dumbbells. Ugh. I need something more advanced. The Encyclopedia Demonium. I know it by heart.
Who placed this book here? A volume of poetry among novels? Urak! What mayhem!
The Lesser Key of Sadakandras. Ugh, what nonsense. The Pseudomonarchia Daemonum. And the first edition too. Most promising.
The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom.
No, this isn't the grimoire I'm looking for.
Esmeralda does have a
The
propensity for all
Pseudomonarchia
things naughty,
Daemonum.
hasn't she?
And the first edition too. Most promising.
The knight in see-through armor. Princess Buttercup with the blushing bottom. Stentekel.
Demonology for
Esmeralda
dumbbells.
does have a
Ugh.
propensity for all
I need
things
something
naughty,
more
hasn't
advanced.
she?
The Encyclopedia Demonium. I know it by heart. The Lesser Key of Sadakandras.
Volume
What
1,
nonsense.
Volume 2.
The
Where's
Pseudomonarchia
the
Daemonum.
third one gone?
And the first
Shut
edition
the door.
too. Most
Sometimes
promising.
These books sprout little legs in the night.
Golly gosh! One who flaunts the highways and byways of silly old Sicile with the easy elegance of a puss with her tail in the air. I do declare such a sight is rather rare around here. But where are my manners? I am Maxine, and you must be one of those hunters one hears so much about. Charmed, I'm sure. I'm the mayor's cat, don't you know? Born and raised on velvets and viands of most exquisite varieties. Maxine rhymes with queen, after all, and dearest. That is hardly a coincidence. But of course, darling. Be my guest. Oh, this quaint little town is a tad too parochial for one of my more urbane tastes. But one has to make do, hasn't one? The fresh sea air does go to great lengths to invigorate one's spirit, that much I'll admit. And it is rather jolly to watch the ships sail in laden with all kinds of exotic wares, full of the little treats the mayor likes to spoil me with. Darling man, he dotes on me so. Heavens forbid! No, fear is rather too strong a term there, hunter dearest. The predator's instinct is a trait we share, you and I. And though those rancid ramblers may not be quite as easy to put to the claw as mice are, I assure you, they are just as easily outwitted.
What? Oh, it's you! What news? My dear girl, I introduced her to my library. If you're looking for something special, just ask. She knows every book by heart. Oh, yes, the Fabulous Five. Aren't they simply fantastic? I'm sure they'll get the job done in no time, especially with your expert hand lent to their core. That machine Ahu built is an abomination. It must be stopped at all costs. I bet the wizard himself could provide some advice regarding how to destroy it. He's the mad scientist who crafted it after all. Maxine? What in heaven's name are you? Oh, you mean the mongrel that's always skulking about the place. I spent months trying to teach that worthless hound how to fetch, and it sat through every lesson looking at me as if I were an idiot. Man's best friend, my eye. I've always been more fond of cats myself. Jake? Murdered, you say? Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Now I remember. Well, I'm sure the facts will prove me innocent. Keep investigating. You'll see for yourselves in time.
A source hunter! Oh, what a sight for sore Sicilian eyes! Me? I live alone here in town. Used to be that my younger brother Tom and I were practically joined at the hip, but that's all changed now. Oh, he's always been something of a rascal, calling his petty hooliganism adventuring and endlessly worrying my poor mind. Oh, but of course, I've always loved that scamp to bits. For my part, I encouraged him to join the Legion. Even got him sparring with Captain Aureus now and then. But then those blasted Fabulous Five came into town. That band of... I don't even know what to call them. Well, they're his heroes, and I simply couldn't prevent him from going to see them. That one meeting was all it took for Tom to run off with them on some mission to God knows where.
Back in the threat.
We'll have none of that, you hear?
Snake, wing of worm, spice 'em, stir and char.
Move along.
How gratifying to see you return. You are quickly becoming my favorite customer.
By the needles of the Million Bleeder, they'll end it all! End it all in blood!
anvil of Grog, the torturer. Here I wait for thee in the... Yes. Yes. Have you made the orc feel the... Yes. So it is. So it is. By Angus the Impaler's favourite steak, you done well by me. Oh, Ravager of Gazaldagar, the last of their line is dead. The House of Gandavon has been avenged. Sweet flowing blood. The quest of decay is at an end. My wealth is yours. My life is death's. By the hollow sockets of the Voidwood Eye Gouger, I bid thee thanks and fond farewell.
A source hunter? Don't tell me we've got to worry about dark magic on top of it all.
I feel better already.
Have you ever had the fortune of challenging the fabled wizard of Hunter's Edge?
Fortune? Ha! He should be so lucky as to be defeated by Alistair. Great!
You notice something being slipped into your hand. One of Walgraff's notes. It reads,
Saw you steal. No biggie. I'm a thief. I didn't think a source hunter would pinch.
The rogue keeps his eyes fixed on yours. He's expecting an answer. Walgraff's demeanor suggests he is reassured by your answers. He may be an outlaw, but he's clearly uncomfortable with heroic source hunters behaving as such.
I'm sure you'll let your match one sword twice.
Greetings, traveller. And may the Immaculate Conduit's myriad blessings comfort and cradle you. Tell me, have you what's in a name, dear friend? For we all begin equal in the Conduit's eyes, and only through great deeds may enter into her inner ring. You mean you haven't heard? Oh, what fortune that I may share the goddess's salvation with one who has, as yet, been lost. Steel yourself, friend, for your mortal spirit could be forever transformed from this moment forth. The Conduit, our link to the goddess herself, has given us a special gift, and the gift is thus. By following her instructions and becoming initiated into the one way, we can each of us live on for a span greater than the number of stars that twinkle within the goddess's right eye. She came from on high to we mortals and showed us the path to the goddess, where all living souls are naturally inclined. She showed us that injury and malady need not mark the end of life, but that through her methods we could ascend to greater life in service of the goddess. Ah, for this hallowed information, you must seek an immaculate chapel. Go north, friend, through the forest and into the town of Silverglen, where all may be revealed. There, among her followers and friends, dwells Go on the path to the righteous, my friend. Forget not that the Conduit has great plans for you.
Come now, Alistair.
Ha! The closest I've got to my match is when I linger over long while lighting my pipe.
Pointless chatter with strangers does so thrill me. How did you know? Please continue interrupting my drink if you'd be so kind. How curious of you to show interest in a lonesome stranger at the bar. Let me answer by saying that who I am is hardly any of your business. And anyone with an ounce of tact would have known that already. So you've wrangled a position in the Fabulous Five, have you? I'm fairly brimming with enthusiasm at the prospect of calling you a partner. You'd better leave me undisturbed, or my emotions might just bubble. You've been sent after Ahu's insane robot, I understand. Do you imagine that while you're busy being crushed by that abomination, I'll manage to get through a whole drink, distraction-free?
Ah, hello. I suppose you're here to viciously interrogate me for information I don't have. Yes, she and I have a history. That's hardly a secret anymore. I quite doubt it was even a secret from Jake while he lived. As easy as it would be to pin suspicions on Esmeralda or I assure you that the affair was never so steamy and sordid as the busybodies around town make it out to be. Jake and Esmeralda had no great affection for each other. He had his interests, she had hers, and there was little passion left between them. Certainly not enough to fuel a murder. Which one? I've written Esmeralda.
Let's see. Halibut, sheep's cheese, tomatoes.
the sea if you could choose the finest green!
Well, tuck my tail and call me Bessie. A 2 feet addressing me directly? Huh, I thought I'd never see the day. Oh, me and my brother Bull have dragged this here cart all around Sci-Seal, from dock to graveyard and back again. Speaking of Bull, you ought to say hello to him. He's clairvoyant, you know. Can tell you fortune to the T.
I'm seeing 2 feet approaching me, and here you are. My powers astound even me. I'm Bull, the leading clairvoyant in Sci-Seal. The 2 feets never bother to ask, but I see all that is and is to be. Of course, most winsome 2 feet, of course. What would you like to know? Why, yes, most wealthy indeed. But you must be vigilant, 2 feet, for I see that your wealth will come by bloody means. Well, that depends, 2 feet, that depends. I see that love has caused you to falter in the past. Yes, falter dearly. You must reconcile your mistakes before you will find true love. Death. Ever the most difficult topic to foretell. I see. Oh dear. No. No. Your reading is over, dear. Over.
You're not from?
Is that why we never sail to Ythagore anymore?
Shores? Here? In Sci-Seal? Was too busy dodging fireballs tonight. Yo, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid... Shores? Here? In Sci-Seal? That was too busy dodging...
Ahoy, sailor! Are you enjoying the fresh winds of Sci-Seal? Aye, that Cecil's worse than a rooster, crowing all around town about matters he ought to know are better kept quiet. Well, if you know about the staff, I suppose you also know it's gone without a trace.
In a youthful gore, that loopy legionnaire really thinks that orchid charm loves him.
I wouldn't let it out within 500 yards of my loving nature.
Ever hear about the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's carriage for the joyride?
For my part, I haven't a clue where it could have gone. Overboard, stolen, or vanished into thin air. Though I'm quite eager to see it return, I've got a reputation to uphold, you know. Wouldn't hurt to ask some of my men. I tried myself, but sailors tend to be a bit tight-lipped when they're afraid of getting one another in some trouble. Seaman's code, you know. Not to rat out a fellow sailor.
About the time the captain took the Duchess of Federal's... Was too busy dodging...
No, he didn't. He drove it straight to the pub and back. Sauce, now that you mention it, I noticed Dietmar, a fellow merchant travelling with us, carrying a sealed box off the ship during the attack. At the time, I figured he was just escaping with his personal effects. But it could well have been that staff you're talking about. Well, sure, I saw him slip off the ship, but I haven't a clue where he could possibly be now. Captain Conrad's the man to ask for such matters.
Heard anything about the whereabouts of the magic stick yet? What? That weasel has it for sure. But I'll tell you this. I didn't speak of that stuff to a soul on board. If he's the one who took it, he must have known it was on the ship before stepping foot on her decks. I'm sure he'll make a run for it, probably by boat. I'd look for him on an out-of-sight beach somewhere. He's probably there now, trying to launch a vessel in private. If he hasn't already escaped, that is.
Don't think at the time he got
You're not from a...
Filthy beasts! I'll kill the last one of you!
Oi! The Source Hunter! Nice to see these winds are blowing more than blood. Beats me, what traitor... Whatever the curse it...
Raven chickens! You cowered here while the rest of us fought?
Hail, Source Hunter! Why, I don't think I could ask for a more welcome sight on these cursed beaches. The Legion welcomes you. I'm a proud Legionnaire, and always will be. But I thought we'd be doing more slashing and less dying when we landed in... It's these orcs! Now they have bees in their bonnets about God only knows. We need every hand. That rat-faced shaman of theirs even went to the trouble of launching a fireball at a ship in the harbor to the west of here. It's hard to say. That ship needs attention, and fast, or she's as good as sunk. Got any special Source Hunter tricks to make a blue sky? Beats me, what trait, whatever the curse in...
You're lucky we're protecting the rear.
It's not that I'm not happy with Junius. It's just that Bibius is always dropping juicy scraps. Ah, well, you... Lovely day for a swig and a... What do you want to know?
Bunch of barbaric bastards, a lot of them.
Well,
Just bite your lip, will you, Bibius?
fairly well.
You craven chickens! You cowered here while the rest of us fought?
Look! A wanderer comes my way, walking the sands upon which this poor shell must. Call me Ishmael, son of the sea, an outcast upon these wretched shores. An exiled shell, doomed to live under a canopy of arid sky, not his native, tender water. Of course I can talk, don't be silly. There's more tongue to me than heart. Indeed, the surprise should be mine, for I still remember the days when your kind swung from branches and plucked the vermin out of their neighbor's fur. Time is an indulgent mistress to one who spends happy hours as she passes. But when your existence is one of misery, she becomes a lethargic hobby. Oh, I remember ancient times, for I have lain here since antiquity, when the ruins around us were palaces, and the sun-bleached dead merits. All this I have seen, alive. Oh no, my fate is a cruel one, I assure you. How many snot-noses have held me up against their dirty little ears, only to claim they can hear the ocean? Of course they can hear her, the brats. We are on the very edge of the great aquatic mother, whose embrace I so desperately long for. Yes, yes, I, King of Pearls, ache to repose anew on his coral throne. Hurl me toward the water. Swing me as far as your arm's strength gives lease. And treasure long sunk I will grant thee. What do you say, kind knight? Will you return the King of Pearls to the sea, so he may yield you long-lost treasure?
Agreed. Let's...
Liberator, kind benefactor, bless me the might of your sea-bound. The sea, I have returned, where every wave feels like a mermaid's kiss. May the bounty of the deep be yours, along with my eternal gratitude.
legs and run away? Ah, yeah.
The very fact that you seek me out once more is in itself a token of wisdom. Do you truly? Then we shall proceed. Between life and death, death is the greater force. So argues the clergyman. Is he correct?
Yes, he is. Disagree with me again, and I'll teach you all about the supremacy of death myself. You hear?
No, I stand by my opinion.
Let us proceed. Life is life's own goal, the question that is itself the answer. Good! Now I am unburdened of all worries, am I not?
Wrong. It's yes. Agree with me, or I'll unburden you of all your worries, right here and now.
No, I stand by my...
Last query. Boldly do I scorn the bonds of faith and fear. Death I dub thee life's equal. Is this my salvation or my undoing?
No, it's your undoing. You'd walk right into your own undoing. Luckily, I'm here to save you from yourself.
No, I stand by my opinion.
Most impressive. Nothing short of miraculous. You have verily fathomed the message of my book. My undying respect is yours, to an extent. Content in the knowledge that my legacy is in good hands. Ta-ta! I shall see you in the next life.
Whiskers to be half as smart as him.
I'm warm as fresh apple pie.
Step aside! Step aside! Ah! This maniac's gonna turn me into a meat pie! Ah!
Let's pardon him. Just look at the little blighter. He doesn't deserve the knife.
Why did you let my chicken escape? You let my chicken escape? Looks like it's your lucky day, Jack. Now to tell the troops they're getting nothing but the cornbread.
Well, Source Hunter, you come to the right place, you have. I got every style of equipment to fit you from head to foot, if it's a trade you're after.
Know much about zombies, do ya? How about walking bones?
Greetings! These stalls are for our Legion troops. Rivellon's finest work up mighty fine appetite, serving the 7.
Attention!
I hope your quest fares well, dear hunter. By all means. I can't say much more, but that... Of course. I hope your investigation fares well. His body is gone? It seems too improbable to be true, but nevertheless. You're onto something, hunter. Do follow the scent and see where it leads you. Source Hunter, welcome, welcome. Source Hunter, welcome, welcome.
Those boots will embarrass a bridge troll. Get the tight. You think that's funny, Private?
Sir! No, sir!
I've just got back from the realm of fairy. It was lovely.
Sorry, sir. Welcome back to Sci-fi Hunter. The Legion greets you.
The Legion stands at the ready. You don't look like you're quite ready to head out into the undead-infested wilds to me. You may have the right number of champions in your party, yet in experience, I think you are most probably lacking. Of course, thank you for...
Can you spare a coin? 1 coin or 2, noble spirit? 1 coin or 2? Oh, I am a happy man, and certainly a humble one now. It turns out losing it all has its own share of benefits. Ah, a fool once was I, and ever seeking greater satisfaction than that which I already enjoyed. In my folly, I sought the counsel of those notorious Watcher statues on the western cliffs. Their guidance ruined any small fortune I might have had, but certainly granted me humility. I'd heard they were not to be trusted, that they gave fools' advice to the fools who sought them, but somehow I believed that I was the exception. They told me that I would find fame and renown if I renounced my worldly possessions, all my worldly possessions, and became a great figure of piety and humility. Fire, the most thorough cleanser, was my method. But as my house burned in front of me, I felt no elevation, no piety, only the sudden weight of my own idiocy upon my very soul. Thank you, kind one.
So, those statues told him he'd have to renounce his earthly possessions to become a spiritual leader, did they? Some of the richest people in the world are also some of the most miserable. Gold can purchase many things, but neither joy nor wisdom are among them.
Can you spare a coin?
You there! Sit! Stay a while. Right in front. I'll excite you. I'll delight you. I'll beguile you. I'll besmile you. I'm Cedric the Sensational, and I'm playing to an empty audience. Don't pity me. No, sir. Just a few years ago, I was the all-singing, all-dancing, all-sensational darling of the town. People came from far and wide just to witness my amazing act. When Reginald came, he brought some fantastic prop with him. Now, have you seen it? A talking head. Now, I never expected a silly gimmick like that to be my main competition. It seems even my usually choosy audience has been taken in by that hack's little gizmo. I'm a man of skill, sleight of hand, feats of wit, and pure entertainment. This curio is ruining what used to be an art. And even when there's no crowd to speak of, old Reggie still has at least one fan calling bravo and hee-haw. Sure as the sun sets, that one devotee attracts 5 more, and those 5 more all curious about the commotion. I don't know how he inspires such loyalty with less talent contained between his hat and his boots than I've in my crusty handkerchief. And who are you supposed to be? Oh, I should have been one of the greats. But here I am gathering peasants to watch peasants perform broadside pageants for peanuts. No, really? I hadn't noticed. If not for this ridiculous condition, you'd know me as the king's favorite thespian. Don't you have an impressive library here in Sicil? I'm sure that beast of a librarian could rustle something up for you. Take it up with Katerina. She's the master of this pig circus after all.
Zombie ate your dog? Orc sunk your ship? No matter! You're at Katerina's Fair, a veritable summer home for troubled minds. Won't you take a seat and let our esteemed entertainers whisk you off to a better place? Well, I'm Katerina the Fair, fairest first lady of the fair, of course. I do love making the acquaintance of my patrons, and who knows which of them might become one of my performers. I've an open stage in want of talent, and I've often found the best young performers among the rank and file of the audience. The theatre's fever has overcome you, has it? Marvelous! I do so love a fresh green talent ready to bloom. But I support players, not writers, you see. If you want to perform here, you'll have to find tried and true material. Check the library and see if any of the classics there interest you. I'd love to see a Source Hunters take on one of the old standards. Right away, my dear, just as fast as your boots can carry you. You found something decent to perform. Speak to Master Chaucer if you're ready for your debut.
Fantastic! Bravo! What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look,
there stands the world-famous Reginald the Entertainer. Better check it out if you don't want to miss the time of your life. Oh, I'm nothing but your average man taking in the best show I've ever seen. I'm amazed and astounded that for a meager gold coin or two, I can take in this first-rate entertainment all day long. Well, I've stumbled into quite the fine gig. I just let my appreciation for Reggie's work be known, and he slips me a few gold coins in return. My voice happens to carry pretty far. Sci-Seal hears me. Sci-Seal wants to see what the fuss is all about. And let me tell you, this amazing show just can't be beat.
Come all and see
Well,
the
join a crowd's what I do best, and I'd be glad to do it for your little show. 100 gold up front, and yours will be the hottest ticket in Sci-Seal. You're lost, buddy. You know where to find me if you change.
The great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I've heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself.
You there! Take a seat. Prepare to laugh your head off, cry your eyes out, and teeter on the edge of your seat. When I am Reginald the Illusionist, purveyor of the most amazing artifact in Andevale. This fantastical talking head. Catch the act while you can. This show will only remain in Sci-Seal as long as there are Legion soldiers to entertain. Ha! Yes, I know of that talentless bull. He was here entertaining the troops before I was brought in. I'm sure the hack simply bored his audience to tears until they cried for a replacement. Enter Reginald the Illusionist. We need our boys in red happy, relaxed, and ready to fight. Not wait. Are you impressed by my prowess in the arts of entertainment? Nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And that crowd warmer has increased my profits by 60%, simply by showing a little honest appreciation for our show. That's right, a talking head. And he doesn't just talk. He'll weave you a yarn so fantastic, you'll be begging to hear just one more, and just one more. It's quite... I obtained this curio by some rather sensation. You see, I was diving in search of a rare medicinal sea herb. I volunteer at the local children's apothecary on weekends, in the shallows around Sci-Seal's own Black Cove, when I spotted something amazing. The chest belonging to the fabled Captain Pontius. Though the chest was stuck fast, I summoned a swell of great strength and prized it free from the ancient rock. I had the treasure of a lifetime in my very hands. But then, slurp, gulp, I was swallowed by an ornery kraken that seemed to appear from nowhere. In the hubbub, I lost hold of my prize and watched it sink to the bottom of the beast's cavernous belly. Still, I feared only for a moment that all was futile. Before my mind's eye swam the faces of the many war widows and leprotic orphans who would be lost without my charitable support. I knew I had to live. Grabbing fast to the hilt of a cutlass that floated by at just that moment, I summoned all my strength to slash a great gash in the creature's gut. Freeing myself from my would-be tomb, I swam as quickly as I could, first to the surface and then to the shore. It was there, along the rocky beach, that I tripped over this talking head. Strange, isn't it? Hard times, Lord Pinchpenny?
My word! Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. Autographs will have to wait until the end. I doubt I have to tell you that I am the amazing singing Stefan, the only sentient severed head in Sci-Seal. My audience sings my praises from hill and dale. Psst! You're a source hunter, aren't you? Oh, bless the seven. Look, you've got to help me. I've been kidnapped. Pleasure to meet you. Now, please, Stefan has many fans to meet today. Psst, help me. Take me to Reginald's cellar. There I will reveal everything. It won't be the worst indignation I've suffered. Get on with it, then.
Hey, you there! Cut it out!
Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti. Oh, excuse me, I'm trying to prepare for the next show. What do you call a source hunter who finds a way to draw a crowd away from where he or she would like to perform a clandestine? A resourceful hunter. Come now, it can't be that hard to find something to draw off the attention of this bleating herd.
Bravo, bravo! You there! You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a severed head. Step
By
right
the
up!
7! What a tale!
My word! My word!
Tricks are for kids. This here is the greatest illusion in Andalale.
Innocent dugongs, you nearly startled me out of my boots. Well, you've got my attention.
A king. The great
My word.
Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
Fantastic!
It is
Don't
said-
ask me what the tale's about. I'm just here for the eye candy.
This show is worth the hype. Though that bloke...
What's that nutter on the back hollering about? I can hardly hear the show for all the ruckus.
Across his realm.
My word!
You there! You don't look like someone who's ever been serenaded by a severed head. Step right up!
Fantastic!
My word!
Today, I think,
By
a
the
king,
7!
the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
My word!
It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew
tale.
Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst
My
for
word!
colour.
By the
So
7!
ardently did
What
he
a
crave
tale.
creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today, I think, a
Let's
king,
get some
the
fantastic.
great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines. It is said, and this I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who is said to have known Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour.
By the
So
7!
ardently
What
did he
a
crave
tale.
creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm.
My word!
Today, I think, a
My
king,
word!
the great Sigurd and his
My
rainbow of war
word!
machines. It is said,
Back
and
for more, I see. Well, I can't say I'm surprised. What?
Sigurd himself, that the king...
What are you looking at me for? There's a great show going on right in front of you. And look, there stands the world-famous Well, I've stumbled in... Oh, I'm nothing.
Fantastic!
Today, I think, a king, the great Sigurd and his rainbow of war machines.
By the 7!
It is
What
said,
a
and this
tale.
I have heard from a ghost who knew Elba, who knew Elliot, who
My
is said to have known
word.
Sigurd himself, that the king had a great thirst for colour. So ardently did he crave creamy blues and gory reds that he ordered a contest across his realm. Today,
Fantastic!
I think, a king.